Live from Red Rock Casino and Lanes in the city of Las Vegas, ESPN welcomes you to the H&R Block Tournament of Champions. It is the second of 4 majors in this, the PBA's 50th season, and the house is packed with bowling legends, Hall of Famers, and fans alike. And glad you're with us for this early start here on the West Coast. I'm Rob Stone, and earlier start than normal for most, as last night the PBA honored its 50 greatest bowlers of all time and held its Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Norm Duke was there last night to be honored and inducted. Norm not on today's telecast, which brings to an end his run of seeking 4 consecutive major title victories. But that's not to say our show isn't loaded. 2 of the best bowlers in the game on today's telecast. We begin with the lone righty, number 4 seed Wes Malott. He is your PBA Player of the Year frontrunner. Match number 1, he will face Mike Scroggins, who seeks his second major of his 17-year career. And what sophomore slump for 2 seed Rhino Page, 25-year-old reigning Rookie of the Year, makes his major TV debut, and he may face his roommate for the title. Number 1 seed Patrick Allen has been on an absolute tear the past 5 months. Today represents the lefty's 5th consecutive TV telecast. And our number 1 seed standing by with one of the 50 greatest in PBA history, our own Randy Peterson.
Boy, Rob, you're right. Patrick Allen's been riding some kind of tidal wave of success. And Patrick, how have you been able to maintain such a high level of excellence?
Well, Randy, you know, it's my 5th week in a row I've been on TV. Obviously, Wes Malott's on a great run, too. You know, I'm just trying to battle every week and not take a week off mentally and trying to fight every shot.
Thank you, Patrick. Rob Stone, Patrick Allen, as your number 1 seed, needs only 1 win today to capture his 2nd career major.
Randy Allen will have to wait for that opportunity, but when we return, we put ball to wood. Match number 1 between Mike Scroggins and the big nasty Wes Malott, next from Vegas.
The Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by H&R Block. Go to PBA.com and sign up to win tax services for 5 years and $5,000. H&R Block, you've got people. By Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Prescription Flomax. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save 15% on your car insurance. Visit geico.com.
Youngest ever to win that money.
Welcome to the 44th edition of the H&R Block Tournament of Champions. This tournament started in 1962. Great crowd, great field here with you. Rob Stone joined by Randy Peterson. Bo Burton will join us a little bit later in the broadcast. There's a live look at 4 seed Wes Malott. And match number 1, he'll be taking on 3 seed Mike Scroggins. Lefty intensive broadcast today. Your 1, 2, and 3 seeds, all lefty, Randy.
Yeah, and I think what we're going to watch today is how the left-handers handle the transition. Wes Malott's got the entire right side of the lane to himself. And, you know, Rob, in interviewing the players yesterday, they said the same thing. The lefty said, you know, we have to stay ahead of the transition and make the moves before the lanes change and avoid open frames and splits.
Fairly good start for Mr. Malott. He's got that right side to himself for as long as he wants it this afternoon. There is Mike Scroggins from Amarillo, Texas. 17th year on the tour. 5 Lumber Liquidator PBA Tour titles, 1 major. He won the Masters in '05.
Mike Scroggins making his 4th telecast this season, still looking for his 1st win of the season, and off to a great start. And Rob, you know, Mike Scroggins' theme today is taking his time and not getting ahead of himself. He's made a lot of telecasts, 31 with only 5 titles. So he wants to turn that around as well and start winning more.
That one heavy, and going back to the slowing things down. There is a shot clock, a 25-second shot clock. It's kind of out of view for us, but in view for the bowlers. And he says, a lot of times I get up there and there's a ton of time left on the clock. I just need to slow things down, get in a proper rhythm, and quit forcing things. Oof.
That was a great effort. But again, and this has been a theme for Mike Scroggins on television. It's, he starts out with a strike or two, and then he has an open frame shortly thereafter. See if Wes Malott can take advantage of this open frame. And again, a great attempt trying to slide the 6 over into the 7.
This is the 4th single show in a row, the 2nd time Wes Malott has achieved that. And we've seen a lot of Wes through the weeks, and what we've seen from him is jumping out to early leads and capitalizing on opponents' mistakes. Like that. Back-to-back jacks to open up this TOC for Malott.
And you can see there the location and the speed. We have the pleasure of having the CAT system, the computer-aided tracking system. This data is being provided by Kegel and the Kegel Training Center. The official training center of the PBA will have this information throughout the telecast.
I'm looking forward to seeing some of the numbers that it's going to produce. Give us a great look and insight to what these bowlers are having to deal with. Young child just behind Wes Malott.
Thank you, sir.
Escorted out. That would be a mental note to myself. Don't bring my 3, soon-to-be 4 kids to a bowling show. Right? What's the cutoff age? Got to be in your teens? So 3.5's not going to cut it, is what you're telling me. Watch out, folks. Strike a lot, Malott on a tear. 3 in a row.
And Wes Malott doing exactly what great champions do when given an opening from their opponent. He jumps all over it. He's perfect through 3 frames.
Mike Scroggins stepping up after an open frame 8 in the 2nd. Good recovery, Scroggy. And with this venue loaded with so many names this week, even the normal calm, Mike Scroggins had a few wow moments.
When I was qualifying, I was bowling with Johnny Petraglia on my lanes, and then I had Mike Albee on next left of me, and I can't remember, Mark Roth, I think, on the right of me, and it was just amazing watching these guys that I grew up watching, on TV. But it's been really a neat week to bowl in.
And Mike Scroggins named 3 of the heaviest hitters in the history of this tour. Johnny Petraglia, Mike Albee, and Mark Roth. It's hard to match those 3 great careers.
We asked a similar question to Wes Malott, and I said, I kind of got started in this sport late, so the guys I grew up watching, I'm really still competing against. Walter Ray Williams Jr., Norm Duke, Parker Bone III. Qualified first with that 242 plus average. I don't know if our microphones could pick that up, but I was able to hear it. The young child making some noise behind the crowd now. I've heard those type of temper tantrums.
Well, and Wes is doing the right thing. He's not getting upset about it. He's taking his time, just regrouping. It's part of the game when you have this many people.
He's not happy.
Well, Wes has 2 kids, Jordan and Canvas.
Right,
So
so he's
he
used
knows
to it.
what's going
Right.
on.
Come on.
Looking to open up with 4 in a row. Malott on a roll. We go back to last week, Medford, Oregon, where he defended his title. Talking with Wes, he said, I accomplished a lot last week. I got 2 titles in one season. I was able to successfully defend a title for the first time in my career. Next for me is to get that major. And after that, Player of the Year. Both well within reach. Yahtzee! 10 drops late. And watch out for Wes Malott, folks.
And Rob, remember the last week, Wes Malott climbed the ladder to win in Medford. Today looking to do the exact same thing. He's eyeing his first major and looking to get a stranglehold on the Player of the Year race.
Regardless of today's outcome, Malott will still be in first in the Player of the Year race. Could really pull away from the pack with a victory, though.
Good shot.
So Scroggins had paired some strikes together in the 3rd and the 4th, and now his second spare opportunity upcoming here in the 5th. He had an open frame 8 in the 2nd. Had the 6-7 split, and he tried to nip the 6 on the right and missed. Takes care of that single pin conversion as we take a look at the Denny's Player of the Year points race. Wes Malott on top with 54 points. If he wins today's tournament, he goes to 74 points, 30 more than number 2, Norm Duke. And the guys on the tour know that this is an opportunity for Wes to really get away from everyone.
Absolutely, but let's not count out Patrick Allen. Remember, he's your number 1 seed today. And a much better shot by Mike Scroggins.
When we return, the conclusion of Malott and Scroggins. Plus, we break down today's interesting oil pattern. You're watching the H&R Block Tournament of Champions live on ESPN. That is the hardware that they are fighting for today. That and a $50,000 check and a 2-year exemption. Take a look at our Lumber Liquidators Know the Wood. The T of C oil pattern, 39 feet rather.
39 feet, and on both sides of the lane, the players are just going to play in the center part to find that oil. And there was no secret that this week there was some friction to the outside part of the lane. Scores were very high. We had 8 300 games. How about Dave Husted, Hall of Famer Dave Husted, bowling 300 this week, the former 3-time U.S. Open champion.
Still to come, Rhino Page and Patrick Allen are 2 and 1 seeds respectively. They also bowled 300 games this week. Wes Malott, not to jinx him, is in the process of potentially bowling 1 as well. He is perfect through 5. Malott looking for his first major title. Yeah! 6 in a row.
He makes it look real easy, doesn't he? He's got a figure-8 backswing that starts outside his body line and then tucks to the inside, a lot like the late, great Don Johnson. And in my opinion, when I watch Wes Malott throw the bowling ball, it almost looks like he cannot pull it or tug it or miss target left. You watch all the modern day swings in today's game, and they all look like the backswing is a little bit to the outside of the body.
And the streak ends at 6. And a very makeable spare conversion for Malott here in the 7th. Good crowd as always here in Vegas. You know, Vegas, the most frequented city in PBA history. This is the 75th PBA show in Las Vegas. And Randy, you and I will actually be back here in Vegas in a couple weeks. Another show February 15th in downtown Vegas.
For another major. And you know, that's a great break for Wes Malott because he avoids the open frame and maintains a 53-pin lead. And right now, Mike Scroggins is in this must-strike situation where he knows in his mind to have any chance, he must strike out and hope for an opening from Wes Malott.
We're getting closer and closer to a semifinal matchup right now. Rhino Page, Wes Malott, and there will be some hard throwing balls.
Look out.
On the lanes if that takes place. Our thanks to Dennis Matthews, the Director of Bowling Operations here at Red Rock Lanes.
What a great guy Dennis is. He takes great care of the players and does just a phenomenal job here at Red Rock. Thank you, Dennis.
Scroggins down 53 to open the 8th. Leaves the 7th.
And while I have a moment, I'd like to give a shout out to exempt player Dino Castillo and his wife Leanna. Friday morning, they welcomed baby Jonas into the world. Congratulations, guys. Mom and baby are both doing well, and I know Dino's at home right now watching the show and enjoying his new son.
Is that their first?
I believe it's their second. I know that they have at least one other. I could be wrong. Maybe they have 3.
I was told there'd be no baby math involved.
I'm sorry.
in the show, Rob.
I didn't get the stats on the amount of children in the Castillo household.
Maybe our CAT system can pick that up. Take a look at the scroll of other finishers this week. Here's Malott in the 8th. That's his 7th jack of the afternoon. Or early morning here on the West Coast.
Just cruising right now.
And again, Malott, the only righty on our show. We begin the foundation frame.
Wait on it this time.
Big Nasty up 54.
The largest ATM machine ever. Wes Malott.
Strike a lot, Malott. With 8 strikes so far today. The best Scroggins can do is a 214.
Well, it's another great week for Mike Scroggins. However, the ultimate goal is still left out there, and that's winning. You know, and Mike will admit, you know, he struggles on television, and he's been trying to figure out, you know, a way around it. Is it a mental thing? Is it, you know, is it the, you know, the ball reaction? Is it trying to fight the nerves? And I'll tell you, Rob, after a while, it starts to wear on you. You know, and it gets in your psyche, and it just doesn't go away.
Today, his 31st career TV singles appearance, 5 titles, 1 major. Got off to a good start in the beginning of the season, had 5 top 10 finishes in our first 8 events. It's number 6 on the average list, but you're right, just can't seem to get over that proverbial winning home.
He just doesn't make enough shots on television. And obviously, that's certainly not the case during the week because you don't get to television, you don't get to the championship round, throwing it all over the place.
That open frame in the second really kind of set him back. He was able to recover with back-to-back strikes, and then 3 out of his next 4 frames were 9 spares, and you're just not going to move on, particularly when you're taking on an opponent who is on, pardon the pun, the roll that Wes Malott is right now. Strike number 9. Makes it look easy. Your 4 seed will move on to take on 2 seed Rhino Page. Looks like he's taking out a new ball right now.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be an area check or a tester, so to speak. He's going to try to test some different part of the lane. Yeah, he goes trip forward, changes to another ball, and one more strike, he must shoot 278.
Yeah, that smile tells you a lot. It's one of those, whatever's working, whatever I pick, wherever I go is working. Yeah, let's try another one.
That was awful.
That was an awfully good game. Brings the crowd to their feet with a 276-203 victory. 10 strikes in that one for Malott, including an opening 6-bagger. Well, up next, break out your monkey suit and your best party toast. Highlights from last evening's 50th anniversary gala and Hall of Fame induction when we return to Las Vegas. We welcome you back to Las Vegas and ESPN's continuing coverage of the H&R Block Tournament of Champions. Wes Malott has just moved on to the semifinal match to take on Rhino Page. We flash back to 2002 Randy and Jason Couch winning his 3rd consecutive TOC. No one has ever done that.
Yeah, Jason was just spectacular. Just owned the Tournament of Champions for 3 consecutive events. Mike Durbin did win 3, but not 3 in a row.
Multiple rollers have won multiple TOC titles, and some pretty strong names on that list.
Yeah, Marshall Holman, the youngest to ever win. Mike Durbin, like I said earlier, won 3. Keep in mind, Mike Durbin won tournaments out here on tour using 3, 4, and 5-step approaches. Pretty amazing stuff.
Next week, we stay in the state of Nevada, head to Reno for the Don and Paula Carter Mixed Doubles Championship, coming your way from the National Bowling Stadium. Special start time on that one on Super Bowl Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern for that 90-minute broadcast. And last night here at Red Rock Casino, the PBA continued their 50th anniversary celebration with a ceremony honoring the 50 greatest in PBA history, while also inducting Del Ballard Jr., Norm Duke, and John Handegard into the Hall of Fame.
Well, you know, I really look forward to coming out and seeing some people you haven't seen in a long time. And, you know, in a lot of cases, it's probably the last time you're going to see them because we obviously don't get together, you know, very often. So I just want to spend as much time as I could in the center and listen to all the stories and relive the past a little bit. And actually got to bowl a few games this week, so it's just been a total blast.
Well, when you look back at the people that you're in the group with and you see their accomplishments, it's almost daunting. You know, it's a real humbling experience, and it, you know, you look back and you go, you know, I competed in the time of Dick Weber and Don Carter and Earl Anthony, and it's just a wonderful feeling.
To me, the Hall of Fame is what bridges all of the careers from the greats in all eras, and in a sense, tonight they'll write my chapter in that. And to say that I'm honored and privileged is an understatement.
You know, with having everybody here, it being the 50th anniversary, it just means so much more because everybody that's anybody that's in this sport is here tonight.
The class, the thoughtfulness that the PBA would go to this level and lengths to say, you know what, thank you for what you've done, and we're going to continue going in our direction, in this direction.
Wonderful ceremony last night. Many of the 50 greatest in attendance here, including yourself. You checked in at number 35 last night, and a great week's worth of activities for you and all these special faces. What kind of sticks out in your memory bank?
Well, in my 28 years of being a professional bowler, last night was truly the greatest event that I've ever been a part of. The PBA deserves huge ups for what they put on last night, and a special Thank you to Janae Letty, the event director. He did just a phenomenal job. Thank you very much, PBA.
We got Rhino Page working on being included in the next edition of the PBA's 50 Greatest. We'll see him when we return.
The Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by the United States Bowling Congress, ensuring the integrity and protecting the future of the sport of bowling. Bowl with us. By Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com for a free video. What will you discover? By CLR. CLR. All kinds of dirty, one kind of clean. And by H&R Block. Go to PBA.com and sign up to win tax services for 5 years and $5,000. H&R Block. You've got people.
PBA first came to Las Vegas in 1960, the Showboat Invitational. 49 years later, here we are. Rob Stone and Randy Peterson with you from Red Rock Casino and Lanes for the 2009 edition of the H&R Block Tournament of Champions. Wes Malott, your 4 seed, has advanced to the semifinal match, courtesy of a 276-203 victory over Mike Scroggins. Up next for him, another southpaw, the youngster, 2 seed, Rhino Page. And Rhino Page getting some heads up and some advice from his roommate and potential opponent in the title match, Patrick Allen. You see PA there on the right in the blue. So PA helping his buddy, but don't be fooled either, Randy. He's also taking a little gander at the lanes himself for his personal use.
One tour roommate helping out another. No help for Wes Malott. What gives?
I don't think Wes needs any help the way he's rolling. 10 strikes last game. Here's Page. Boom! Kid's got some intensity from the get-go there.
Yeah, very intense young man, and who can forget the unbelievable season he had last season, breaking just about every rookie record there is.
Broke several rookie records. Nearly every PBA Tour qualifying round record last year en route to winning Rookie of the Year honors. Here is Wes Malott on being the lone righty competing today.
I kind of have an advantage because I get to break the lane down the way I want to see it. And I'm the only one, any kind of traffic over there. So I just got to be smart and break it down right and make great shots and try and come away with the title.
Malott in his 7th year on the tour, 5 tour titles, seeking his first major.
And Rob, in a 3-match telecast, the players get a lot more practice in between games, and that's going to affect the lane or the oil pattern as well. That much more practice, that much more bowling balls going down the lane. It really makes the lanes transition, and so both players have to stay on top of that.
And we saw Malott at the end of game 1 doing a little research and reconnaissance. Breaking out several different balls. Working with the thumb right now. He always plays with that. Rhino Page from Topeka, Kansas, 25-year-old in his 2nd year on the tour. Won 1 title last year and already has 1 this season as well. He won in Baltimore over Wes Malott. Leaves the 7th Lumber Liquidators Shark Championship. That one held December 14th in Baltimore, and Page, the 1 seed, defeated Malott 197-189, low-scoring title match.
You see the ringing 7 here in our last match with Mike Scroggins. Mike was playing around the 7th or 8th board at the Arrows. Rhino Page, 10-11 boards. Excuse me, the 10th or 11th board at the Arrows. The difference is the amount of hook, or the rev rate. Rhino Page throws more bowling ball. He has to move more towards the center part of the lane and open the oil pattern up. Mike Scroggins, less hook, lower rev rate. He has to play him straighter.
Page, a power player, and admitted, early in the season his timing was well off. He lost coverage, he lost carry, and he lost confidence. It's all coming back, and it began at the end of '08. The pins make a special little pop, don't they, when Page is tossing?
Yeah, and he kicks the 7 out nicely there. And you're right, Rob. For Rhino Page, it's all about confidence and believing in himself. And you can see it when he's feeling it. He's pretty tough to handle.
There's Wes Malott, a second and a third place finish in his previous 2 televised Masters majors. 10.
I'll start that.
Avoids contact.
Can't enough for you to see.
Well, his last game, he shoots 270. And this match, he starts off strike, flat 10, ringing 10. And that's what Wes is referring to when he says don't start that. And again, getting back to how the lanes transition, just a little bit of a change, and that entry angle changes just a little bit. All of a sudden, it's bad carry.
Told us yesterday as the lanes start adjusting, he's going to probably start moving a little left and get a little softer with the throws.
Well, and the CAT system's still telling me that he's right around the 11th or 12th board, and that's pretty much where he was in the first match.
Oh, Wes, wait on it, get your hand around it. Come on. Got to get it to tip.
We begin the 4th. Malott coming in off of back-to-back spares.
There you go.
Well, he liked that one on release. He does
well, you
not
did what
like
you wanted to do.
The finish.
Always have to happen.
Big 4.
20 miles per hour on that shot there, and Wes, you heard him say it, he wanted to get around it. He wanted to tip it more. It's exactly what he did, and the ball breaks loose and goes right through the nose. That's not a pulled shot. That's a ball overreacting to the breakdown on the oil pattern.
And that is an open frame 4.
Always have to happen against him.
First open frame of the day for Malott. And as strong as he was in match number 1, match number 2 has been a polar opposite. He started with a strike, since then a 9 spare, a 9 spare, and an open frame 8, which means an opening for second-year pro Rhino Page right now in the 4th. Back-to-back jacks for Page.
And there's the young man taking advantage of a hole created by Wes Malott. The CAT's system's telling me that the first shot on that lane, he hit the 10.5 board. That shot there, he hit 10.8 board. So it's pretty accurate, Rob, even by my calculations.
You had it. You don't need the computer system, I know, but it's nice to have it as a backup.
It's a great tool.
Boom! Watch out.
Ball speed similar. Rhino Page just under 20. Throwing that 3-bagger there, jumping all over the opening created by Wes Malott.
4 strikes in the first 5 frames for Rhino Page. Wes Malott just 1 strike here so far in the semifinal match. Number 1 seed Patrick Allen waiting in the wings. Speaking of 1, coming up soon, we will tell you who number 1 is on the 50 greatest all-time PBA player list. Back-to-back big 4s for the Big Nasty.
And Wes just not staying on top of the transition. He knows it now. Again, trying to create a little side tilt, and the ball just breaks loose down the lane. That's not a pulled shot. The shot before that, he hit the 11.2 board. That was 11.7. So you're talking maybe a half an inch.
A game attempt, but now back-to-back open frames for Malott, and this one starting to slip away. There's Ken Treat, Senior Vice President, Field Management for H&R Block. H&R Block, the
title sponsor for the 2009 Tournament of Champions. Our thanks to our friends at H&R Block. They're about to get a little busy, aren't they?
Oh boy.
April 15th, somebody's birthday and tax day right around the corner. There we go, Wes.
Yeah, that's a ball change right there. The ball he was using, too aggressive. He goes to something a little smoother. Not sure that's the answer, though.
The conclusion of Malott, Page, plus that man's wow moment this week when we check back to Vegas. Welcome you back to Las Vegas and ESPN's live coverage of the H&R Block Tournament of Champions coming your way from Red Rock Lanes. We are in the midst of semifinal number 2, second-year pro Rhino Page with a big lead through 5.5. Fire up the RV, we're on the road next week. Mixed doubles event for the first time in history as the best from the PBA Women's Series team up with the best from the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour. And after that, we head to the LA area, Fountain Bowl in Fountain Valley, California for the Denny's Dick Weber Open. Live coverage of that one Sunday, February 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, Rob, let's take a look at the Cats numbers one more time. Look at match number 1 where Wes was. He was right around that 10th, 11th board. Remember, 2 big fours, and look at the change right here. That's a good 3-board adjustment after back-to-back open frames in the 4th and 5th.
So for Malott so far, 2 strikes, 2 spares, 2 open frames. Here's Page in the 6th looking for a ham bone.
Oh, boy.
That eats the
boy.
hook.
All right. Love those commercial breaks.
Wide left on that shot there for Rhino Page. And I think he's probably pretty excited about the fact that he's not shooting a washout or a full rack.
Keeping this one in the building.
Picks up his spare there and take a look at the Flomax weekly update on Rhino Page. And we talked to him yesterday about this week and all the great stars that were here. And I said, did you have a wow moment? I guess that was my phrase this week, your wow moment. And he said, you know what? I called my parents after the first set on Wednesday. I said, Ma, you won't believe this. I'm bowling with Parker Bone III, and Mike Albee is like 2 pairs to my right. This is neat. I mean, that's literally the word he used. Although this is neat. He's a kid in a candy store right now, pinching himself, seeing all these great faces roaming around here.
Yeah, and that's what makes this tournament so spectacular, especially this week of having some of the 50 greatest of all time and just being in their presence and the stories and everything. All of the history was just amazing.
That's closer.
Strike number 5.
That's how it's done, Hoss. Right there.
Little shades of Patrick Allen there. That's how it's done, Hoss.
Starting to rub off the roommate banter.
Again, Page in his first televised major will take a seat with a substantial lead as Malott gets his crack in the 7th. Malott, your PBA money leader, average leader, and player of the year points leader right now. But trailing here in the semis. That his first set of consecutive strikes this match. He had 10 strikes, including an opening 6-bagger in match 1 versus Mike Scroggins. But it seems like, Randy, that the ball adjustment has worked. It's early, but it's working so far.
And Rob, you're right, but remember we talked about it at the top of the show on how the players have to stay on top or in front of the transition. And right now, Wes Malott's saying to himself, doggone it, I should have made this ball change about
2, 3, maybe even 4 frames
earlier.
4
frames earlier.
Oh.
And Rob, you look at the ball motion from both players. As you see Rhino's shot here, watch the back end of this bowling ball. To put it into numbers in terms of power, Rhino Page is about 330 RPMs, or his rev rate's about 330. Wes Malott in the 400s. Now, to put that into perspective, first-time bowlers or just recreational bowlers are in the low 100s. Your average league bowler about 225 or so. So, you know, we're talking almost double the amount of power for these two players.
Oh, carry it.
Yeah, and right now, Rhino Page looking ahead, feeling that he's getting this much closer to bowling his roommate for this title.
His third consecutive strike, 7th overall in this match, and then he gets back in that chair and calms himself down. Malott in the foundation frame. 4-bagger for the big nasty.
The right move, just a little late for Wes. Still fairly close to 20 miles an hour. Remember the first match, he was right on top of 20 miles an hour. A little bit softer speed. Blows in that thumb hole, put a little moisture in there. Gets a nice feel. Sure is a good grip.
Oof. Momentarily, he was eyeballing a 7-10. Was able to get the 10 to kick.
Guess you can't be too disappointed. You showed up Friday night and threw some unbelievable shots to even get here. Man.
As strong of a start he had in game 1, he was betrayed in match 2 here.
Now let's give some credit to Rhino Page as well. I mean, Rhino can strike out in the 10th frame, shoot 257.
Boys, we will see you guys tonight.
Shout out to Jordan and Camden. Back home in Austin. Daddy's coming, bringing mommy with him. Meredith is here to watch Wes make yet another televised appearance. Strike a lot, Malott is done with a 2-bill effort.
The two roommates are going to battle for this title, Rob.
Watch out, roomie.
Wonder how much help PA is going to give Rhino in the title match.
Right. Things are going to quiet down a little bit. It was interesting, Patrick Allen yesterday, I wouldn't say he was worried, but he spent an inordinate amount of time discussing with us how his game is going to change if it's Page that moves on.
Not yet.
Yeah, a lot of strategy. And he talked about how he needed to stay just to the inside part of wherever Rhino Page was playing. We'll see if that unfolds.
She's not ready yet.
He wasn't trying to make that, trust me.
That was a test shot, 245, 200. Rhino Page moves on, he gets the crowd on his side. Roommate versus roommate for the second major of the season. Patrick Allen takes to the floor, and he will start to get loose. The debate has raged all season. Who is the greatest in PBA history? Earl Anthony? Or is it Walter Ray Williams Jr.? The announcement by Hall of Famer Bo Burton of who is #1 all-time next. We welcome you back to Las Vegas and our continuing live coverage of the H&R Block Tournament of Champions, coming your way live from Red Rock Lanes.
Over the first 6 events of the second half of the season, the PBA will be competing in a separate pointless sponsored by H&R Block. The point leader at the end of the 6-week H&R Block West Coast Swing will receive 5 years of tax preparation and a $5,000 H&R Block Emerald prepaid MasterCard. And here is your leader list. And now we flash back to 1970. What a memorable moment. In fact, Bowler's Journal named this the #1 moment in PBA history. Don Johnson's 299 versus Dick Ricker.
I'll give this to the wife because I know she's going to get it before long anyway. I might as well give it to her now.
There you go.
But this trophy is something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Wonderful moment, and plenty more memorable moments still in store for the PBA as they continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Rob Stone joined by 2 of the top 50. On my far right, number 35, Randy Peterson. Number 15, 20 better than you, Randy. Get your act together. Bo Burton. And Bo, we've been talking all season long. You joined us in our opening telecast in Omaha to kind of kick off the greatest bowlers in PBA history, and now the debate is about to kind of be settled. Number 1 and number 2. Take it away, my friend.
You're right, Rob. We started with 100 players months ago, pared it down to 50, and on your first 11 telecasts this year, we've come from 50 down to number 3. Now we're going to announce in the next few minutes who is number 2 all time and number 1 all the time. Randy, I think you may know, but right now, let's look at number 2 all the time, Walter Ray Williams Jr.
The player has won more PBA titles and earned more money than any other, finishes second in the countdown. Walter Ray Williams Jr., the man known as Deadeye, entered the 2008-2009 PBA season with 44 career titles. Williams is the only player to have surpassed the $4 million mark in career earnings. His 7 major titles include 3 wins in the PBA World Championship and a pair of U.S. Open victories. Williams dominated the decade of the 90s, winning no less than 4 PBA Player of the Year honors for a record-tying total of 6. Williams, now age 49, is showing no signs of slowing down, leading fans to believe that 50 tour titles might be within reach for this incredible athlete.
Congratulations to Walter Ray Williams Jr. And I had the luxury of bowling with both of those players. Walter Ray, still contemporary, and my late doubles partner, who is the greatest of all time. The debate was up, but I think the difference among the voters was the extra major titles that the great Earl Anthony had. So let's take a look at his career. Earl Anthony, number 1.
The greatest player in the first 50 years of the PBA Tour is Earl Anthony. Anthony collected more titles, 43, in a shorter period of time than any player in Tour history. His record of 10 wins in major championships includes an astonishing 6 victories in the PBA National Championship alone. He also collected a pair of wins in both the Masters and the Tournament of Champions. He was the first player to earn $100,000 in a single season and also the first to surpass the $1 million mark in career earnings, collecting 3 Player of the Year awards in the mid-'70s and 3 more in the early '80s. Anthony, who died in 2001, was as responsible as anyone for putting pro bowling into the collective conscience of sports fans everywhere, and his legacy lives on today.
And this really a grueling debate for bowling purists, and the debate certainly will not end with this. You can go on and on about 1 versus 2, and neither of you gentlemen had a vote in this. If you were to have a vote, and we're not here to make friends or enemies, okay, everybody settle down. Randy, who would have gotten your vote for number 1?
Well, again, it's a great debate, and you know, I think that you have to look at Earl's career and how much he accomplished in a very short period of time. You got to give the longevity to Walter Ray Williams Jr., but remember, Earl has the most majors at 10.
Well, Randy, I agree with you. The voters voted for Earl Anthony. But Walter Ray, he's still out there. And there's one thing in common among almost all these top players, Randy, and you guys are doing the show every week. They all learned to throw the ball straight.
at some time in their life. You have to be versatile out there, and Walter Ray is still out there. If you take a vote another 5 or 10 years from now, it could be Walter Ray or any of these new young guys that are out here on the tour. Very exciting.
Oh, Bo, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for joining us all season long. You did a great job last night as well at the Hall of Fame induction. Really
Thank you,
enjoyed
Rob.
it. The bowling will continue. Our title match is all set. Patrick Allen, no stranger to the TV lights the past 2 months. He guns for career title number 12 and major number 2 next.
The Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by Etonic, the official footwear of the PBA. By Denny's, where America's favorite breakfast is now available to go. Real breakfast 24/7. By Bayer Aspirin. Bayer, expect wonders. And by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less.
We welcome you back to Las Vegas, where Earl Anthony was just named the greatest bowler in PBA history. Ironic, though, that Earl Anthony never won here in Sin City. Had 43 career titles, 0 in Vegas. Time to take a look at our Geico Championship recap. Randall.
Thank you, Rob. Match number 1, the big nasty Wes Malott takes care of Mike Scroggins, 276-203. Then he takes on the reigning Rookie of the Year, Rhino Page. Rhino Page chops down the big tree. He beats Wes Malott, 245-200.
All lefty final between 2 roommates this week. Second-year pro, Rhino Page. 10-year pro, Patrick Allen. 1 versus 2 for the second major of the season. We are with you for the entirety of today's title match. No commercial breaks. Rhino Page will bat leadoff. 8 strikes in his win over Wes Malott.
Walking.
Fan taking a stroll in Rhino Page's peripheral vision, so he takes a little break.
Okay.
Double wood to start off.
Sweet. This is VP lane.
Rhino Page gets this one a little bit farther left than he would have liked.
Nice use of farther.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill Vent.
Furthermore, I think you're having an excellent broadcast today.
Thank you, Rob. And for those folks watching the telecast, if they don't know who Bill Vent is, Bill Vent, a wonderful bowling writer and someone who helps Randy personally with
Talk better.
with my verbiage.
Here is 38-year-old Patrick Allen from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Hoss, number 44 on the top 50 all-time PBA list. 11 tour title victories, 1 major, winning the 05 World Championship.
Sweet.
Did you mention his 5th consecutive telecast?
I was just about to get to it.
Ties a record.
PA climbed the ladder 2 weeks ago in Reno, Nevada, earned his 11th Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour title. Got a bit of a break when Walter Ray Williams Jr. needed a strike and left that. It dropped the legend. PA staggered offset.
Come on,
Couldn't
man.
believe it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the building believed what happened there in the 10th frame. Walter Ray needed 2 strikes in the 10th frame, got the first one, and then leaves a pocket 8-10.
PA, a big self-talker. Very entertaining to listen and watch. Oof, a timely call from the crowd. And
They're helping us too.
We have seen a lot of pauses in action today between kids making noise, folks taking a stroll, people coughing. And this is serious time right now. There's no time to try and force a throw through something else.
Take your time.
opens up with back-to-back jacks.
Yeah, horse!
So his roommate this week, Rhino Page, steps up. Just look at the left arm on Page. It wasn't, it's like cut from granite, that forearm.
Looks like he swallowed a softball and it went right to his bicep.
Yeah. Get on down. Yeah, nice break there in the second. Let's remember that.
Huge break, Rob. Huge break. And after shooting .245 in the last match against Wes Malott, the first 2 shots go light on Rhino Page, and he's got to be thinking to himself, what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on? I had pocket, no problem getting the ball there, and all of a sudden, everything is light.
And if you want an adjustment advantage, I would think you have to give it to the veteran. Patrick Allen will be able to recognize things earlier and quicker than Page. And here is Page on dueling his buddy and roomie, Patrick Allen.
Bowling PA isn't any different than bowling anybody else because they're your opponent. And out here, it's our job to win. And so I don't look at it as I'm bowling my good friend. I look at it as, you know, I'm just bowling another opponent right now. And I guess it's good for us that I'm bowling him in the title match if I am, because that means we both had a great week.
Nice sentiment from Page as Allen watches. And his first strike. He needed that. We talk about confidence is so integral in his game, and he needed it there in the third, desperately.
But Rob, a lot of strategy going on in this match. And remember, we talked about how Patrick Allen's strategy was going to be playing inside of Rhino Page all day. Now, Rhino Page, the first 3 shots, the 11th board, the 10th board, the 12th board. Patrick Allen's last 2 shots, 13 and a half.
Haas opens up with the turkey. Looking to put some gravy on it now.
There it is. That ball there actually crossed third arrow, 15th board. Remember, 39 boards on the lane, each board an inch wide. When we talk about location, 13 and a half, 13.8, 15. We're talking Patrick Allen being within an inch and a half of his target for the first 3 shots.
Allen 2-0 as a top seed in a stepladder format. He is the top seed today. Hambone!
And like both shots on that left lane, Patrick Allen right now, he's trying to decipher the information in front of him. Okay, what move do I make the next time I'm on that left lane? See the great form, Patrick Allen, great knee bend, keeps his head down, eyes on the target, and great pin carry, never hurt anyone.
That's your H&R block second look. Rhino Page now with his effort in the 4th in an early 31-pin hole. Back-to-back jacks for the soft.
Rhino Page's location, some 4 boards left of Patrick Allen at the arrows.
Page said he's not really fazed by this being his first televised appearance in a major. Just kind of enjoying the moment. Again, we talked about all the great Hall of Famers and legends here, and he's the one who's really been soaking it up all week.
Not going anywhere, baby.
Three-bagger now for Page, and I love that from the youngster. Not going anywhere.
And this is a beautiful shot, and the elbow and the hand go right at the target, and all 10 back in the pit right here. And you heard Rhino Page tell his good friend and tour roommate, I'm not going anywhere.
After the shot, let's talk a little bit more about the roommate dynamics.
Maybe.
So 5 in a row to open up for Allen, and we asked PA, what's it like to be Rhino's roommate? And he said, a lot of ups and a lot of downs. He's an emotional guy. When things are going well, things are good. When they're not, you know, he jokingly said, you know, it's suicide watch. You know, he needs to learn to kind of ride the ebb and flow of a season, because it is difficult out here.
Yeah, it really is, particularly for left-handers, because they can go weeks without getting a good look or a good oil pattern. That's why I think what Patrick's done the last, making 5 telecasts in a row, has been amazing. When a couple of those weeks, no other left-handers were close. But you're right, you've got to be on an even keel.
6-pack for PA. Yeah, Hawks!
Good move on that lane, bro. Good move on that lane.
He finally got the ball to go high flush on this left lane, so there was an adjustment made. All he did was move a little bit left with his target. 13th board. Last couple of shots on that lane, 14th board. He moves a board left. That ball hooks up, goes high flush.
Oh, wow. Page gets himself a ham bone. Still alive.
Let's take a look at our computer-aided tracking system stats. Rhino Page, again, we talked about how he was going to play a little bit closer to the second arrow. You see Patrick Allen a good 3 to 4 boards to the inside of where Rhino Page is playing. Both players right around 19.5 miles per hour. Rhino Page looking for 5 in a row.
Yahtzee!
Is he pointing at you?
I believe so.
I hope so.
I believe that was a shout out in our direction, Randall.
I wouldn't want to catch one of the pipes in the chin strap.
Yeah, I'm right back at you, brother. 2 of our favorites on the tour rolling here in the title match. Rhino Page and Patrick Allen.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Patrick Allen,
Let's go.
Flawless through 6. There were 8 300 games rolled this week, and our 2 finalists each had 1. Come on, 7-pin!
Boy, PA wanted this one, Rod, to stay perfect.
Come on, man.
Good looking shot here. And watch the 4-pin.
Come on.
Second from the left goes right around the 7.
Come on. Come on.
Perfect this week. Single pin spare conversions. And the interesting thing now with that spare, Rob, is that if both players strike out, we'll have a 279 tie.
It's good math, my friend.
Thank you.
Speaking of good math, our friends at H&R Block know how to do it. The PBA and H&R Block have teamed together on a great new promotion for fans. Just go to PBA.com, sign up to win tax services for 5 years and a $5,000 H&R Block Emerald prepaid MasterCard. H&R Block, the official tax services provider of the PBA. H&R Block, you've got people. And Patrick Allen's 2009 statement, tax statement for the IRS, may be altered massively with a win today. $50,000 to the winner plus a 2-year exemption. We begin the 8th. Allen up just by 10. After starting with an opening 6-bagger, PA is now staring at back-to-back 9 spares.
Can't get it in.
And Robbie, he's had one ball on this left lane go high flush.
Can't get it in.
And this is the lane that Patrick chose to finish on. He will have to finish the 10th frame on this left lane. And that shot there dangerously close of leaving the 3-7 split. And I think the adjustment is just a little bit softer with the speed to get the ball to turn the corner.
Had my pop there. Had my pop. Had my pop. Take advantage of it.
Here's Page. He rolled his 4th 300 game of the season this week in match play. This will be his 3rd top 10 finish of the season. Again, this is first televised major for the second-year pro from Kansas. Watch out. Watch out, PA. Your roomie is storming right now.
And his roommate just took the lead with that strike right there, Rob. Rhino Page a little bit softer with his ball speed.
Back.
He gets his ball to face up the 1-2 perfectly.
And we begin the always important foundation frame ninth. See, Page can max at 279. That man, Patrick Allen, can do no better than a 268. Page, a 1-pin lead. Looking for 7 strikes in a row. Drop and give me 10. 7 in a row.
And notice no react. No react right there from Rhino Page. He's like totally in the zone, totally focused on winning his first ever major championship.
Very subdued reaction. Should the same thing happen the 10th, I estimate there may be a little more emotion involved. Huge frame here for Patrick Allen.
Maybe.
Gets it!
Maybe. Patrick Allen, your #1 seed. He got the choice of the starting position in this title match. He chose to finish on the left lane and to make Rhino Page sit and wait and watch what he does in the 10th. 3 strikes here. Patrick Allen shoots 268.
Come on, man.
Rhino Page can strike out for 279.
See Page in the background in his own little world.
There was the adjustment, Rob. You notice a little bit softer speed to get that ball to grip the lane and hook up into the pocket. Patrick Allen knows that he can't shut out Rhino Page, but he can sure make him feel a lot of pressure.
2 great friends doing battle. Remember, it was PA helping Rhino Page before his semifinal berth, helping him break down the lanes, giving him some advice. 2 strikes away from a 268 is Hoss, Patrick Allen.
That might have hit.
Huge trip 6.
Let's check the pulse on Page. He's stewing over there. Double box look at this last strike from Patrick Allen. And I love the crowds. Get there, Hoss. Good football. His last toss of the day. Patrick Allen for a 268. No. 267.
Rob Stone, Rhino Page has to have the first strike in the 10th to have a chance to win. If he goes strike 9 spare, Rhino Page wins his first ever major. Anything less, Patrick Allen wins sitting on the bench.
And he won sitting on the bench a couple weeks ago in Reno, watching the second greatest bowler of all time, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Give him the win. Rhino Page, second-year pro from Topeka, Kansas, just a second year on the tour, must strike here with his first effort in the 10th. Let's see what you got, kid. Glorious! Kid's got moxie.
This is what every professional athlete lives for. Coming through in the clutch.
And still, Randy, a very calm reaction from him. That has been one of the criticisms
Shot clock's already
of
started.
him.
I just got pins.
Was in complete control right there. Strike would win it. Oh my goodness gracious.
Patrick Allen wins. Was it the distraction from him looking at the shot clock? What went through Rhino Page's mind?
Just didn't come off.
Before that.
Just didn't come off.
Unbelievable shot. Watch this. Wide left, missed it at the bottom of the swing, right through the hook point. Patrick Allen wins his second ever major.
Great spare pickup.
Congratulations. Good
from
bowling.
his friend, Rhino Page. But 267 to 263 gives Patrick Allen his second major.
Storm, thanks again. You guys are the
Career
best.
tour title,
Appreciate it.
second career major.
You as well.
PA now number 2 on this year's Player of the Year points list, just 6 behind Wes Malott.
Unbelievable.
Next week, we stay in Nevada. Head to Reno for the Don and Paula Carter Mixed Doubles Championship live coverage on Super Bowl Sunday, 2 Eastern on ESPN. Patrick Allen for the second single show in 3 weeks sits on the bench and watches a title come his way. Great effort from Rhino Page. Congratulations to Patrick Allen. For Randy Peterson and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Good day from Las Vegas. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. X Games is next.